Hello, hello, High Vibe Tribe. How's everyone doing today? I just wanted to come on here and hop on about something that has really just been on my heart today. I was with first off, I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. And I hope that your Thursday is bringing many blessings and many, many just abundant things into your life. So if you hop on, go ahead and say hello so I know that you're here. We're just going to have a little conversation today and get to know you. I know there's a lot of really, really new people here. So I would love to hear where you're from and just hear a little bit about you. So when you hop on, say hello and let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on replay, go ahead and put where you're watching from and interact as if you're watching this live, because I love to come back and just read over the comments and comment on it. And I just love all the women in this group and how they're sharing and how you guys are just really, really reaching out and just sharing your hearts, and we're getting to know you, and it's just been really, really amazing. So let me know if you hop on, say hello, and if you're watching on replay, put hashtag replay. So this morning I was with an amazing group of women, and we got in we were having a discussion about some really, really cool things that just kind of made me sit and think. You know, those moments where you hear something and you're like, oh yeah, like I know that intellectually, but when you really hear it and absorb it and you can feel it in your heart, this really amazing thing happens when you can just really think about it and digest it and think, oh, am I really implementing this into my life? You know, am I really carrying this throughout my day? Sometimes that can make a world of difference if we're just talking about something or if we're actually implementing it into our lives. You know, because if you know me or if you work with me, you know that I always talk about what you think about, you bring about. And it is so true, because whatever it is that you're choosing to focus on will come into your life. You know, it is the woo-woo law of attraction, but it's a real thing. You know, whatever we focus on will just expand in our lives, and whatever it is that we have before ourselves, it's all out of scripture. It's all, you know, it's all biblical based, that what we think about will bring about. So what we were talking about this morning that really, really just hit me was we discover that we receive guidance in our lives to the extent that we stop making demands upon God and give it to us in order of our terms. So what that means to me is that when we're making expectations to God or to the universe, whatever it is that you're choosing to believe in, when we're making these expectations and we're speaking things out of our mouth and we're putting in just like an order out to the universe, if we say, I'm always going to be in financial debt, then you're placing an order to the universe where you're always going to be in financial debt. You're always going to have troubles with money. You're always going to do this. Or if you say, I'm attracting abundance into my life, that's another order that you're placing into the universe. So whatever it is that we're focusing on and paying attention to will expand in our lives, which can be a really amazing thing. But it can also be a pretty crummy thing if you're focusing on the negativity and you're focusing on lack and you're focusing on all of these things that you don't want in your life. And so the interesting thing is that I think that with that thought, that idea that I was talking about, it can be really interesting, because I have found myself in times, and if you've done this too, let me know. Give me like an emoji, give me a heart, give me something so I know if this is resonating with you guys, that sometimes we can make a prayer or make, you know, we can ask God for something and we can ask the universe to deliver something or whatever it is. But then we put these speculations on it, right? Like we might say, God, deliver me $15 from this job. Like I need $15 tip, or I need this to show up in my life in this way. When what we're doing when we do that is we limit ourselves. We kind of put a block on being able to be provided the blessings that could show up in ways that we never even imagine. You know, I see this happen in my life personally all of the time. Like I can't even tell you guys how often I'll pray for something, or, I'll really put it out there in the universe. I'll make an intention that I want something to happen. But then my responsibility is to let go of that outcome, of the expectation of how it's going to show up. Because honestly, I can put out there what I want, or I can put out an intention. I can put out, manifest what I want. But how it's going to show up is totally and completely out of my control. Because we can limit it. We can limit it. If we say, I need such and such amount of money and I need it delivered, I need a raise in my job, then you're blocking the universe from delivering it in totally unexpected ways that you would never even imagine or comprehend. Like I said, I see this happen all of the time in my life where I'll put out an intention or I'll put out a manifestation. I'll write in my journal about something that I really, really desire or want to happen or want to come true in my life. And it will show up in ways that I wouldn't have even comprehended. People will come out of the woodworks and provide an answer for me. People will come out of just nowhere and message me and say, hey, can we collaborate on this? Or, hey, I'd love to offer you this, or I'd love to do this. And, it's so interesting how things will just show up. Resources will show up. Abundance will show up. And so often we are limiting ourselves by not trusting the process and not trusting that God and the universe and the energies and everything can really just provide in amazing ways that you would never even understand. I mean, it's incredible. Sometimes in my life, I'll just be sitting here and I'll think of someone and I'll be tempted and prompted to reach out to them and offer them something, or reach out to them and just offer support or love. And I have no idea what's going on in their life at that time. But in that moment, they need exactly what I have. It's incredible. If we just open ourselves up and we become open and willing to understand and to accept that there's so much more going on in our lives than just what we see right before us. There's so much more happening behind the scenes that we could never, ever comprehend. I don't know if I'm ever going to fully understand exactly why these things have come in my life, or exactly why I've been attracted or prompted to do something, or why, people have come into my life and offered me support, or, whatever it is that I need. But you guys, I can't even tell you how often this is happening. And this has happened in my life since as long as I remember. When I was a kid, my mom's always spoke to this about how, I would say I need $15. I need $15 in my life. And then all of a sudden, I would get a check for $15 or something like that would happen. It's crazy. Or I would say I'd make a goal and I would say that I wanted to reach a certain goal, and then it would appear from some source that I would have never expected it to appear from. There's things like this that happen all the time. We just have to be able to be intentional and then let go of the outcome, let go of how it's going to happen. When I was in college, for example, I made this list. I was trying to find a house to live in. I was moving to another town, and I had some very specific requirements. I didn't want to have to drive. I didn't want, all of these requirements that I had. And I kept finding these places, and time after time after time, it just wasn't working out. And I was right down to the wire. I was literally I think 2 days away from moving. I was starting school and I had a start date, and I was 2 days away. And all of these places that I'd been looking at just kept falling, it wasn't working out, and falling through. And so I got really, really clear. I sat down with a pen and paper and I made a list of every single thing I wanted. I wanted a place where I felt safe. I wanted a place that was walking distance from my school, because I didn't want to have to drive. I was going to bring my car, but I didn't want to have to drive and pay for parking and figure all that out. I wanted easy access to downtown, and I wanted all of these very specific things that I wanted. My own, I wanted my own bedroom and my own living space and all of these things that I wanted. And I'm not kidding. Right after I got done writing that list, I went onto a website that was, had houses for rent, and boom, there it was, half a mile from my school, all the requirements that I wanted. It was there, and then not only that, once I set that intention, I had asked someone to go with me to look at this place, and it was a family member, and they ended up paying for my, my first month's rent and all this stuff that I was not expecting to happen. So it's when we set the intention and we ask God for something, our responsibility then is to trust that it's going to happen, that it's going to be fulfilled, that it's going to come into our life, that it's going to be delivered to us in a way that we may not even expect. So I don't know if any of you guys who are watching have ever dealt with something like that, where maybe you prayed, or you asked for something, you asked for guidance, or you asked for a certain result. And, I know recently here in the town I live in, there was a kid who had a tragedy that happened, and he was in a car accident, and a lot of people were praying, a lot of people were believing that he was going to pull through. And what ended up happening is he didn't make it. But we don't always know why God does or does not deliver something to us that we're praying for. There's plenty of times in my life that I truly believe, in hindsight, that if the thing I prayed for was given to me, I think it would have been more detrimental. I don't always know the big picture of my life. Sometimes we're too close to that thing. We're too emotionally involved. We're too emotionally charged in that situation, or whatever it is that we're asking for, that we may not even understand why it's given to us or why it's not given to us. There's such a bigger picture going on than anything we could ever comprehend. I don't know why sometimes things happen to people. I don't know why sometimes someone may receive a blessing in their life and I'm not receiving that blessing in my life. Or I don't know why I've received, a certain life and a certain, just a way of living in it and all the things that I have in my life, when someone else may not have that yet. But it's not my responsibility to try and figure that out. All I can do is pray for them and hope that they get everything they need. And of course, I can be the hands and feet and offer what I have, offer knowledge, or offer support, or offer whatever it is that I have for them. But it's just really, really, it was a big eye opener for me to really even just be thinking about that today. It's not my job to try and figure everything out. It's my job to show up and do the next right thing. And then it is my job to let go of the expectation and the outcome. Honestly, because I don't always know. We don't always know what's right for us. We may think we do. There's been plenty of times in my life where I've thought I've known what's right for me, what's best for me. And lo and behold, maybe it wasn't the best thing. So I hope this resonated with someone today. I hope that someone who out there is watching and needed to hear this message, because like I said, sometimes when I come on here and I talk about stuff on lives, I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Sometimes it's just this prompting, this urge that I get to speak on a specific subject. So I really hope that resonated with someone, and that somebody out there got some good content out of that, and got, that it just resonated with somebody. So ladies, I just want to encourage you to keep on praying. We started a prayer thread here in the High Vibe Tribe, because I would love to be a part of your life each and every single day. And I will be praying over each and every single one of your needs, because you matter. You matter to me, and you matter to the group. And I really just love that this group is becoming, you guys are creating it to be this evolving, amazing tribe of women where we're just loving and supporting each other. And I am just so excited about where it's going. And I'm so excited to be seeing the growth and the vulnerability that's happening with the ladies in this group. I love you guys so, so much. And I will leave you with that. But I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.